Thank you very much. I would want to thank all of you for giving me you as your audience on a Saturday and on a very long weekend. And also my sincere thanks to Professor Luthra, Professor Jory, Professor Kiran, Professor Ravi, and all the other young faculty who've made this happen. Usually these are the kind of things which are non-sustainable over the long times. These things happen for a couple of days and couple of months in a session where it doesn't happen. So my compliments to them for doing this. You think what we taught in an MBA school, but what I'm going to do, I have one way of saying this through my slide, or the other way is just tell you the story why it is important for you. And over the last one day, you've already heard about the fact that our job is not just making a master plan, or basically making a decision about how you would want to put a color to the land that practically is owned by the public office. So what I'm going to talk about is how do cities get financed? What is this phenomena of development that is getting funded by the public service? Part of that is funded by taxpayers' money, and part of that is also raised by cities by themselves. Okay, I'm going to talk about that. We just continuously keep talking about a lot of people will just keep on coming to urban area, but some of them actually come, and some of them where urban area reaches them by just extending boundaries. So by 2050, 9 billion, at least 70% is to be urban. Okay. So when you say 70% urban, you basically realize that there'll be lesser resources and there'll be more urbanization. And you will find that today you say हमारे पास ये, why can't they make a better road? Why can't public fund a government school, or why can't the public resources being used to do education? So you would find if they can't do it today with a 23 to 24% or 32% urbanization, when it becomes 70%, we'll have even lesser resources, right? Not that our incomes are going to multiply by 10 times, that we'll start paying taxes and the government will start using that money to multiply it. So what do? And we always just have this fascination of putting Western examples that, something that's been done in Birmingham City, something that's been done in the city of London or one of the other suburbs, they also have inadequate finances. Okay, you would have read it a couple of months back. The City Council of Birmingham, maybe what would say Amritsar Municipal Corporation, raising their hands and say, listen, we are bankrupt because they really don't have money to operate and successfully manage what the public service utility would be, whether that's water utility, road utility, development of all those things. So without these service infrastructures, cities cannot attract economic activities. If you don't give, fancy infrastructure, nobody will come. For in dialogue that we keep on talking about, that cities are engines of growth, but you need to put this development of infrastructure. So in this sense, urban finance is a vicious cycle. इस बच्चे को पढ़ाना ही पड़ेगा, नहीं तो ये बड़े होकर इसको नौकरी नहीं लगेगी. But it just depends upon the quality of investment that you make into the city. And an extraordinary example of this fiscal failure that I've told you is the city of Birmingham. The city council basically raised up and said, listen, we can't fund it. We really don't have money to do it. So there are factors of investment. Largely, cities smaller in size. They have population, and we say cities engines of growth. Population comes in, your per capita income increases. You're extracting a lot from that city, but the demand for facilitating that infrastructure, facilitating that income, basically lands up to the corporations. Now, how do you meet? How typically organizations like this size, Amritsar Municipal Corporation, Ludhiana Municipal Corporation, or for that reason any other urban local body which we call as a local government meets these funds. They have these, they've got this elder parent which is called the federal government, right? That the federal government gives what is called the intergovernment fiscal transfers. Fancy names, we say Amrut Mission, we say Swachh Bharat mission,
Smart city.
mission, right? And you say the government of India is giving so much of money to the city, where is it going, right? But someone has to say, यार दे तो रहे हैं पर per capita कितना दे रहे हैं? Just think along that lines, and that's what I would want you to persuade yourself, to intrigue yourself, that next time when you're thinking of a piece of legislation, a piece of designing, think on it, what it basically does to the last person who basically can't meet their ends meet. We usually don't tend to understand what they are. They are basically, imagine the population of India with 30% poverty. You know what 30% poverty is? If you are about 100 crore people, 30 crore people live in poverty who basically have no access. Are we spending that money towards them? What infrastructure are we creating? Someone say, roads and under bridges, frankly, they actually sleep under the bridges, right? So, but are not deflect to it. So, what we're trying to say that, I just try to understand what is the process. Go and you don't have clean bed and your windows broken and your warden basically says, I don't have money to do it. That is operational infrastructure. You scale that up. 20 years back, 30 years back, the road outside was built by capital infrastructure spending. Somebody just put money out as GNDU and said, bana de. But how do you manage it? वो कोई खट्टा कर दिया उसके लिए पैसा नहीं है. Now that's